April 29 to May 3 of 2013, a citizen hearing was held in which 40 witnesses from 10 countries testified for 30 hours over 5 days to 6 former members of Congress. This testimony included direct witnesses and researchers to the Roswell event of July of 1947, the tampering with nuclear weapons at our SAC bases on numerous occasions, pilot sightings, of which there are thousands now, of silver disc maneuvering close and around military and civilian aircraft, and much, much more. We are in development of a documentary, but in the meantime, we would like to get that information out by the creation of DVD and Blu-ray sets. The cost of the editing and production, though, is substantial and not part of the original budget. So we're now reaching out to the public. With your help and your funding, we can get that done quickly and get that information out and keep the pressure on the government to end the truth embargo and bring about disclosure of the ET presence. Here is some of the testimony that was presented that week at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C.
The conclusion I've come to is incredibly wild, that those in charge have been successful in keeping secret the greatest story of mankind.
The evidence is overwhelming that Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled extraterrestrial spacecraft.
The CIA guy standing next to me says, we're confiscating all this data and you're all sworn to secrecy.
They've all been studying this. They have more data than I do.
So the government has dumped disinformation and misinformation into the field for decades. They've undermined research.
I have lost faith in representative government. I truly think we're in gridlock. It doesn't work, and so we need to make a change.
I think it's ignorant of any people not to seek out what we need to know to continue the universe.
You give this committee a lot of reasons for us to say, open those files.
You're walking up to it and you touch it. What do you do? Touch it, that? Do you grab it? Tell us about that.
Okay. I started doing the walk around 360 of the object. And as I came around, I seen there was an inscription on the front. And
this is what you saw, right?
That's what I saw. So I started walking around the craft, and I seen the glyphs. And as I, ran my hand from the fabric of the craft, it was smooth to touch.
You ran your hands along it?
Oh, yeah.
I believe that the time is now to lift the veil of secrecy that has shrouded this subject for over 60 years, and the subject of UFOs should now be openly accepted in the mainstream media.
They exist, they are here to save us against the insanity of our leaders.
I agree with you, they should open those Roswell files.
There's only one way to regain trust: find and tell the truth.
If it's out there, if it's real, we have a right to know.
You can't exercise free will without knowledge, right? I mean, how can you make a choice without the knowledge of what choice to make? And so if the government strips the knowledge away, they take the choices away. Now you don't have the option of choosing where to go. It's one thing to try to control people's behavior within the context of their ability to exercise free will. It's another thing to literally control them before they can exercise judgment.
One of the CIA men told the people they were now sworn to secrecy that this meeting never happened and this event never happened. I said, well, you're going to tell the public about it? And he says, no, we don't tell the public about this. It would panic the public.
I think it's time to open the books. Questions that have remained in the dark, question of government investigations of UFOs.
Stop the music, Governor. Did you say the United States government is covering up a history of a UFO sighting in your state?
It is now time to put away this embargo of truth about the alien presence.
They don't produce documents, Chris. They should just get it all out.
We ought to do it because the American people, quite frankly, can handle the truth. And we ought to do it because it's the law.
It's no longer about lights in the sky. It's about lies on the ground.
Had greater success in other countries. There are now more than 14 countries that have opened their UFO files. We've been very instrumental in this. I've worked with people at the Vatican, the French government. And what is also very exciting is that one of the most important documents in history, which I'll provide to the committee, is a document from the Ministry of Defense of France committing to my organization to engage in a long-term project to make peaceful contact with these quote-unquote visitors. And we had an expedition to actually make contact with these extraterrestrial civilizations. And the Admiral later informed us that their radar tracked objects that came over the site at between 100,000 and 200,000 kilometers an hour. What I have found through my uncle and other contacts at Lockheed is that we have had, since about the mid-1950s, operational electromagnetic gravitic devices, basically in parlance of the pop culture anti-gravity devices that are deeply classified and are the next generation beyond rockets and jet aircraft. These are fully operational and not experimental. The key point here is that the technologies that would give us a new civilization without oil, without gas, without coal, without nuclear power are extant. They already exist, they've been developed, and it is a matter of the utmost national security and world peace and justice that we bring these sciences out and start a new chapter in the human experience. Thank you.
Appelez et nous exhortons les réseaux de télévision médias traditionnels pour la couverture en direct de cet événement historique de 2013. La plus grande vérité de l'existence extraterrestre est maintenant en train de se dérouler sous nos yeux. Alors, pourquoi pas intégrer la couverture des nouvelles? Chacun de nous est ici pendant ces temps de pressage de l'histoire à faire une différence, d'avancer la vérité et de faire sonner la liberté à travers notre chère planète Terre. Aujourd'hui et pour les prochains jours permet de rassembler notre famille et nos amis en partageant cette pétition et d'insister sur la couverture en direct par les grands réseaux de télévision de cet événement extraordinaire qui se tiendra au Washington Press Club, 529 14 TH 5 NW, à Washington, D.C. Paradigm Research Group est l'hôte de cet événement historique dans leur activisme Vérité travaille pour défendre par tous les moyens possibles pour la fin d'un gouvernement imposé embargo sur la vérité des faits entourant une présence extraterrestre engageant la race humaine comme indiqué sur leur site web. Pendant 30 heures et 5 jours consécutifs à compter du lundi 29 avril 2013, par laquelle les anciens membres du Congrès et du Sénat sont prévus pour superviser et présider The Citizen Audition sur la divulgation. Avec plus de 40 témoins, y compris des groupes de chercheurs et militaires agences ainsi que astronautes d'Apollo 14 le Dr Edgar Mitchell, 6e homme à marcher sur la Lune, qui viennent avant de témoigner. En partageant leurs expériences et leurs connaissances de première main de la conspiration massive du gouvernement pour dissimuler visites extraterrestres et des communications galactiques directes. Cela a été une période ancienne de l'embargo imposé par la vérité de 60 ans. Notre presse grand public de télévision a totalement ignoré et choisi de ne pas couvrir la signification historique des citoyens auditifs sur la divulgation. Par son refus de dire la vérité, donc, c'est un signe pour chacun d'entre nous de prendre une minute de nos vies et accès à tous les principaux réseaux de télévision médias tels que CNN, Fox, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, Envie et demande pour la couverture en direct des citoyens auditifs sur la divulgation. Combien de temps devons-nous attendre de la vérité? Pourquoi toutes les majorités de citoyens à travers le monde maintenus dans l'obscurité par nos chefs de gouvernement concernant la présence extraterrestre engageant la race humaine? Le moment est venu de faire une différence. Chacun de nous a une page d'histoire. En tant que groupe, nous avons le pouvoir de faire avancer beaucoup de vérités. Rappelez-vous comme une personne que vous êtes un géant. Certains dans notre société pensent que les humains ne sont pas capables de gérer la vérité. Il s'agit d'une fondation grossière de prise en charge par nos médias, le gouvernement et certains de ces organismes pour le contrôle total de nos vies. Quelle folie, car nous sommes tous des êtres intelligents et c'est notre droit d'aînesse à vivre dans la vérité et la vérité en tout temps. Pour les médias, les dirigeants gouvernementaux à travers le monde, nous en tant que collectif peuvent manipuler la vérité. Nous exigeons la levée de l'embargo imposé par le gouvernement de la vérité. Encore une fois, en tant que citoyens libres du monde dans lequel nous insistons et plaidons pour tous les réseaux pour la TV en direct sur les 5 jours Citizen Audition sur la divulgation. Aussi, dire les réseaux de télévision, il ne s'agit plus de les lumières dans le ciel, c'est sur les mensonges sur le terrain, c'est le logo de déclaration diffusé à travers les univers. L'avenir et la liberté de l'humanité dépendent de notre présent, de nos pensées, actions et le niveau élevé de prise de conscience de la conscience. S'il vous plaît, faire votre part dans ces moments importants.